Common Sense Investing with Stock Screeners. The Intelligent Investor's Guide to Using Free Online Stock Screeners to Find Winning Stocks. Written by James Pattersenn, Jr. Narrated by Andrew Baldwin. Copyright and Disclaimer. Copyright 2020 by James Pattersenn, Jr. Printed and bound in the United States of America. All rights reserved. No part of this book may be reproduced or transmitted in any form or by any means, electronic or mechanical, including photocopying, recording, or by any information storage and retrieval system, without written permission from the author or publisher, except in the case of brief quotations embodied in critical articles and reviews. This book was published for educational purposes, and it's not intended to provide specific personalized advice. It's sold with the understanding that the author or publisher is not engaged in rendering legal, accounting, investment, or other professional services. Investing in stocks in the stock market involves varying degrees of risk, and there's no assurance that a specific stock, investment principle, or investment strategy will be profitable for an individual, group, or organization. All information contained in this book was gathered from sources believed to be reliable, but neither the author nor the publisher can accept responsibility for its accuracy. The author or publisher specifically denies any responsibility for liability, loss, or risk, professional or otherwise, which is incurred as a consequence, directly or indirectly, of the use and application of any of the contents of this book. A letter from the author. Hello, fellow investors and traders. As I searched the internet for a good book on stock screeners, I found that there were only a few books available. And based on the descriptions provided for those books, hardly any of them seemed to be worth reading. My findings were one of the reasons I decided to write this book. My other reason was my desire to prevent other investors or traders from making the same major mistake I did many years ago when I performed my stock research. I'm sure you're wondering what that mistake was. I'm glad to inform you that it was my inefficient use of time when I researched stocks. For example, many years ago, it was common for me to spend 4 to 6 hours researching a company, stock. After completing my diligence, most of the time the company that I had researched failed to meet the requirements of my investment criteria. Sadly, I relied on that research process for several years, until I discovered stock screeners. I don't want you wasting time doing the same thing, when it's not an intelligent way to find good investment candidates. Furthermore, you will waste a lot of time with very little to show for it. The smart thing to do is use stock screeners to help you with your research. Regardless of whether you are just beginning on your investing journey or consider yourself a veteran, if you give them a try, you will find stock screeners.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?